And that basically means that we, as even Linux users, or it's not just, Linux is probably the proof of concept here, but you could do it to all platforms. It could be any Windows user just basically buying this thing and using it on the computer for all sorts of things. If we all buy that, and they may be selling millions of them, but the price of it is just going to be too low for them to actually make a profit. So they'll have to elevate the price, which in turn kind of kills the device and kind of hurts Xbox 360, because people are supposed to buy these things at a cheap price just so that they buy the box or that they buy some games. And now that it's broken, now the important question is, does Microsoft lose money on each sale of these things? I don't know. And I think it's a very close call, because for all I know, based on how much phones cost to make and how many cameras are actually in this thing, I think it's just that maybe it's about $150 to make. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think the story here is more that somebody stepped up to the mark and produced the drivers so quickly. I'm reading some of the comments here, and allegedly it was within 3 hours of him receiving the hardware. Whether that's correct or not, I would not say, but it is a testament to the talent that's out there.
It depends what you mean by drive. I haven't seen the demos or any of the things he's shown.
Yeah.
But you have lots of parameters to you can pick up the signal. They cannot prevent you just plugging in a USB or something. I don't know how it connects to a machine in general. But he needs to pick up the signals and trying to make sense and trying to reverse engineer. You move something else and you pick up the signal and you try to decode the thing. But what does he? How many signals does he take and how fine are the signals? Can you remove noise from them? We don't know this as far as.
Providing that the screenshots I'm looking at are authentic, and there's no reason to suggest now, if it's gone onto the Adafruit site, that they're anything but authentic. But it appears from the screenshot, it's got two shots. One, it's showing that he's got the driver obviously detecting his body, and it's displaying it on the screen, supporting depth and RGB images, and displays them on an OpenGL window. It does look as if it's pretty functional. The level of that functionality, I wouldn't like to say, but
motion, or does it show motion?
It doesn't. No, it's showing him with it. Basically, the picture is him holding his thumb up to the screen, and then obviously the detected image by the Kinect on the left-hand side, showing a shape with the thumb up, showing that it's detected him.
Yeah, it could just be very selective with it could be cherry picking some frames that are kind of.
Yeah.
That's what they tend to do. If it was very good, I would expect them next to try and post a video showing some tracking, and the longer he's doing it for, the more motion he shows, the more convincing it becomes. But you don't have any.
There is a video here. I won't play it now because. Obviously, for bandwidth reasons, it may affect the connection. But there is a video on YouTube, and the link will be in the show notes. And so, hopefully, that will show more. But like I say, this has come onto the site of the company that put the offer out of $2,000. So I would hope that they've done the research and that this person has produced the, something workable. But that's on my list of things I wanted to cover. I don't know if you had any other topics you want to look at.
Lots of. I think the last show was about 3-4 days ago. I think 3 days ago. We had lots of things since then. I don't think we had anything too major. Like I said at the start, and I didn't really I didn't give a good summary, but we had Red Hat making a big release just about a week after the Fedora 14 release. Then we have MPlayer has just turned 10. That's in today's news or yesterday's news. I don't know if you use MPlayer by any chance, or
no.
One of the very important packages at a time when trying to get codecs and trying to get lots of different formats to work and play videos for you on Windows, on Linux. I just remember MPlayer was like the father of many of the players you have now, using Design as the engine and using all kinds of libraries that allow you to basically view just about any video in GNU/Linux. The codec thing is always a funny thing because of patents and because of distributions are kind of afraid to ship with certain codecs, but in general, and players just turned 10. That's quite a celebration for the creator of the project. And I'm looking at all kinds of news about games, and the main thing is urban terror. But you wrote about it before. You also talked about it for a while. It's kind of a sad story, and I think we don't hear about any of the major games being ported to Linux. We have all kinds of new things. We don't have the very big mainstream things. One thing that John Carmack, the guy who was behind all these very nice 3D games, he was very excited by Ubuntu moving to Wayland. He talked about it. He basically said something I'd like to comment on this, but I don't have enough time. But he seems to be very excited about that. Which is good news, because sometime quite recently he talked about not having too much interest right now trying to target these games and sending them to GNU/Linux desktops, and and here you have him basically showing some more excitement that he can get perhaps a better frame rate and better performance when the most widely used distribution is moving to Wayland instead of Xorg. Then we had all kinds of things yesterday. We had lots of trolls today. What I consider to be trolls, all sorts of people trying to post the whole Linux is bad for you, it's not working for me, and you can tell they're trolls because of the way they post it, the pictures. They put pictures of Tux dressed with a devil's kind of with horns on top, and it's all red, and basically it's a fail in big fonts trying to kind of aggravate people, and they get lots of comments obviously because they make all kinds of very outrageous statements, kind of referring to things that may have applied to the free desktop 6-7 years ago. So you want to basically correct the person and say that's no longer true. So I saw quite a few of those troll articles, and yeah.
Do you mind if I just jump in a second there, Roy? Roy's been in the free and open source world a lot longer than I have, and this is me talking from a viewpoint of what I'd call average user, stepping into the world of Linux fully a few years ago, but not that long ago. Now, when I first started adopting it fully on my desktop, I came to the net and I was talking in a few forums, and you had the occasional troll, but nothing major, a few insults, and you expect that because there are professional people who just go around on these forums just insulting people for no other reason than mere devilment. And then I started to write a blog because I got very enthusiastic about the software that I was using. I found myself more and more not just seeing that FOSS alternatives were viable, but they're actually better than the proprietary equivalents. And of course, when you have that sort of software, you want to tell other people about it. Now, when I started doing this, I then noticed a very different change in approach by certain people. Before on the forum, you may get the odd insult, the odd word said to you, but you tend to ignore it. And then when you start blogging or writing articles, the insults and the attacks towards me personally become quite aggressive. I've certainly had a very, very big problem with very insulting texts being sent to me on my blog via email, all because, and I can tell which subjects will, when I cover an article, I know what subjects are going to get me the most type hate mail, and it's literally for just promoting what I believe is to be the best software and the best solutions for people. When I tell people about how good my experience has been, you can get some rather horrendous insults thrown at me, myself, my family. Now, I don't say that to get sympathy from anybody because I'm big enough and ugly enough to deal with it myself. However, it's very interesting that certain articles and certain topics will encourage more of this type of behaviour, and I think Roy's seen himself that some of the attacks can be very, very distasteful and disgusting. So just to throw that in, just to make people aware, there's certain subjects that I don't like to touch. I do touch them, but I don't like to cover them because I know I'll be in for a couple of days, couple of weeks of insults. Yeah, sorry, Roy.
Yeah, just today in the afternoon, I saw I probably shouldn't mention this for too long, but for quite a few years there are some very weird trolls that have been trying to post